Guys, Mudge here with another episode of Let's Grow It. This is a continuation of our tomatoes and peppers that we've seeded in the house in February. As you can see, they've grown nicely. We transplanted them into these bigger pots. And we're going to put the subarctic in the ground today, and I'm going to show you how I do that. And the difference between the indeterminate and determinate plants, how there's an issue with people get a little crazy with pinching suckers, and then some people are a little hesitant with pinching suckers. I'll explain what I mean there. If you want to follow me, we'll go throw this in the ground. Okay guys, for those of you that don't know, there's indeterminate and determinate tomato plants. Indeterminate, it means they're going to grow 6-8 feet tall. Determinate will be short and bushier. Definitely stake the indeterminate ones, and I still recommend staking the determinate ones, the short bushy ones, because they will get heavy and tend to lean over with all the fruit on them. So now back to the suckers. Through my experience, it's okay to pinch the suckers of the indeterminate ones, the longer ones, the ones that grow really tall, because you want the main stem to grow tall. And if you can zoom in on this, Devin, you can see once you have a main stem, that's where they start producing the blossoms, and that's where the tomatoes come from. So what I mean by suckers, if you can see, come on in here, or can you zoom in a little bit? Can you see right in here?
Yeah.
So you got your main stem coming up. Pinch all these off. You got your main stem coming up, and then you have a branch coming out, and then another stem continuing on. So what you want to do is snap that off so you keep the main stem going up tall. If they're smaller, you can pinch them off. That's not going to hurt them. But when they get a little bigger, it's better to use these clippers and just snip them so you don't damage the plant anymore. You want to go right up. So this is when you want to do your suckers, like you see here. Now this one's starting to go that way and this way, so you got two main stems, and we don't want that because you're going to put a lot of energy over here, and then these tomatoes aren't going to grow that well. So I know it looks drastic, but we're going to cut that right off, and now we got a main stem coming all the way up. One on the back side here. There. So this plant is now going to grow taller straight up, and see it's putting out more blossoms, and the energy is going to go to the tomatoes. So for the taller indeterminate plants, that's when you want to pinch your suckers. Now with this one, this is a determinate plant. It's shorter and bushier. It's not going to need to grow really tall because it won't, so you're not going to worry about wasting energy getting up there. So this is when you don't pinch your suckers, the determinate ones. You want to let them, you want to keep them so it branches out and produces more. Okay? So that's the misconception where people are pinching suckers all the time. Oh, let's pinch suckers. You pinch the suckers on the indeterminate plants, but you leave the suckers on the determinate ones. That'll give you more blossoms, more fruit. And that's how it's done. Okay guys, let's get this in the ground. This is the subarctic. This is our determinate bushy tomato plant, and we're going to get her in the ground. I'll show you a few tricks. She's got a pretty good root system going on here because we got her in this big pot. When we bury this thing, we're going to bury it as deep as we can, so we're probably going to bury it more up to here. I'll tell you why here in a second. So let's get our hole dug, and I'll show you what we're going to do. So we'll put this smack dab in the middle. Alright, our hole's pretty deep. It's going to be deeper than the pot, because we want to get a really good root system on this. What we're going to do, the soil's a little drier, easier to come out. Just bang on the pot a little bit, tip her upside down, and it comes right out. Look at all these roots. That's a beautiful root system right there. It's not root bound, so we're getting her out in time. So we're just going to place this down. Now, if you can get a close up in here, we're going to snip these off. The suckers and the branches, just on the lower part. I know it looks silly, but when we bury it, we're going to bury it up to here. And with tomato plants, you can do this. Most plants you can't. Peppers maybe, but tomatoes, you can for sure. And we're going to bury it up to here, and they're just going to produce roots out all through this system here. All along the stem will put out new roots, and then the root system is going to be even huger. Is that a word? It's going to be bigger. So I'm going to throw in my compost and surround it. Actually, before I do that, I've got some worm castings. Put some worm castings in there to get the microorganisms working and moving, because your plant, there could be lots of food in there, but if your bacteria, your microbes, all that, don't break it down, your fungi don't break down the food for the plant so the plant can eat it, the plant's not going to get any of it. So this is important. This will help with that. Get it going. A couple handfuls is plenty. So now we put our compost all around it. That's lots of compost, plenty. Pack her down a little bit, get all the air out of the underneath. Put your dirt back on top. As you can see, we buried it up a lot higher, so the pot was like down here. We just gained another 6 inches of root system because we buried it up so high. That's going to be a beautiful plant, and then don't forget to stake it. So we're going to stake this sucker. Tomato cage or whatever you got, bamboo, it all works. Just be careful with the cages, you don't break the leaves when you're doing this. Yeah, perfect. Make sure you put those leaves up and over so it'll allow it to grow. There. And then, of course, don't forget to water it. Throw a little water on it. Okay guys, we're on to the peppers. Same idea as the tomatoes. Pinch off these bottom leaves. We're going to put our compost in. Some worm castings. And then we're going to bury it a little bit deeper than we normally would with other plants. And the peppers will produce a few more stems, not as much as the tomatoes, but they do lower to the bottom produce a few more stems, which is roots, which will help our root system. More roots, the more food the plant can intake. And don't forget to stake it and water it, just like the tomatoes. The peppers and tomatoes you can treat pretty much the same, except you wouldn't pinch suckers off the peppers. You just let them grow and do their thing. So we're going to water this, and then our next video we'll show the fruits and how we harvest them. That's about it. Let's grow it. Okay guys, so there you have it. Tomatoes and peppers, your indeterminate, your determinate, when to pinch suckers, when not to pinch suckers. Leave your comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Hit the like button. You know the deal. If you're new here, subscribe. And let's grow it.
Well, I've got dirt under my fingernails, holes in my lettuce left by a snail. My lawn may be filled with yellow polka dots, but they're for the bees, 'cause they sure help my lot.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Next video we do, man, that sucks. I can't believe I did that. Stop.